Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos wins the Nobel Prize for his efforts to end Latin America's longest-running conflict.
Gracias a Dios, la paz está cerca.
That's Santos reacting today, saying peace is close. It's an honor that comes just 5 days after Colombian voters dealt him a stunning blow by rejecting a peace deal with left-wing rebels known as the FARC. The Nobel Committee praised Santos for his attempt to stop a civil war that has killed more than 200,000 Colombians and displaced millions since the 1960s. Santos dedicated the Peace Prize to the Colombian people. Joining us now is Mike Gonzalez, Senior Fellow with the Heritage Foundation. Mike, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm glad to be here.
Does President Santos deserve this prize?
He does, actually, because he was defense minister under Alvaro Uribe when Mr. Uribe was able to defeat the FARC or dealt a great setback militarily to this awful Marxist group. So if the Norwegian socialists who award this prize give it to President Santos because of the work he did as defense secretary for President Uribe, then it's very well deserved.
Okay, but you're saying that there's a fine distinction here, Mike. You're saying that he only deserves it because of his defense minister work, not because of the work that he's done as president. This conflict has been going on for 50 years, right, and he doesn't have a deal right now, and he couldn't negotiate it. It was rejected by the citizens of Colombia. So where does that leave us? You're saying he deserves it, but not really.
Well, I think it helps us grapple with the huge disconnect we're seeing between elites and the people all over the world. The fact that these Norwegians, a very small group of socialists in Oslo, think they know better than Colombians about what's happening in the country, and not 56 or 72 hours after the Colombians have said, nah, we don't want this, they decide that they know better. And they're going to give Santos this Peace Prize. I think it helps us understand the disconnect.
Does this prize give Santos some leverage as he tries to salvage this deal?
Well, even before he got the prize, there was already a sign, or several signs, that he's going to go to the Supreme Court and get the nod from the Supreme Court so he can hold the plebiscite again. We've seen this with the EU many times, with Ireland and with Denmark. Every time there's been a referendum that the EU hasn't liked in Denmark or in Ireland, they've had a second referendum, and if need be, a third referendum. They have not tried that with the UK because the UK is another kettle of fish.
But will they try that here?
Yeah, I think they will, yeah. They were going to try that before anyway.
So do you think this is an attempt by the Nobel Committee to exert political pressure? I just asked you sort of the opposite. Will this help Santos? But do you think the Nobel Committee is trying to say, hey, this is what we want?
And it'll be up to the Colombian voters, obviously, and it should be up to the Colombian voters, not to the, this handful of Norwegians who read very well and have not had to deal with guerrillas ever in their lives.
Who do you think should get it?
Who do I think should get it? Any of a number of dissidents in Cuba or China or Vietnam who are actually fighting for freedom and democracy and human rights every day of their lives.
All right. Mike Gonzalez from the Heritage Foundation, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.